Today we'll be grading Amazing Spider-Man number 45. That's just a great cover. It's going to look really good on my wall. I love the yellow. Not sure about you. But yeah, so let's just go ahead and get to it. I've got my grading sheet here. Now if you want more information on this, I've done a video and I actually provide the tool that can be used with this in a Google Excel sheet that you can use online. Just go to the description, I'll have a link to it, and I'll probably put a link above here as well for you. So let's go ahead and get started here. We'll pick the book up. First thing we look at is, are there any bindery issues? And this spine here is dinged, but I don't really see enough to tell me there's a bindery issue. Nothing here as well. Sometimes there is on the inside as well, but usually that doesn't count against it. So I'm going to leave it blank for now. I don't see anything. So let's just look at the corners. That's the next thing we look at. This corner here is dinged, but it's pretty nice. It's not sharp, but it's only got minor damage to it. This is a little bit of minor damage here on this bottom, but very nice for the age of this book. This spine is dinged, and this corner here is dinged as well. So this is probably somewhere between minor and moderate. I think I want to probably err on the side of moderate on this one. I think this top and bottom spine is just too bad, too much to be considered just minor. So we're going to call it moderate on the corner here. Try and keep my pen away from the book. And the next thing is edges. So let's just take a quick look. There's a little bit of some pitting along the top right here, if you can see it. So that's already showing me to be more near the moderate range there. It's obvious. Detracts from the value. I mean, it detracts from the eye appeal of the book. There might... Nope, I thought that was a tear there, but there's nothing. The bottom edge looks really good. So let's just carefully flip it over here. Look at the back edge. Nothing there on the bottom. There's a little bit of soiling on this edge, but I don't see any kind of anything else as far as... Now, same thing on the top here. We have a little bit of pitting on the top. So it's unfortunate, but it's actually not bad. I mean, it's not extremely obvious, but it's definitely there along the top. Otherwise, the rest of the book, all the other edges look great. So we're still going to go with the moderate here on those edges. And let's see here. So the next thing we look at is the spine. Let's just go up and down here. It's definitely not minor, and I don't think it's enough to be extensive. So this one's pretty easy to grade. I think this is a moderate spine. It's not bad at all, though. The eye appeal of this book is really nice as far as the spine goes. So we're going to definitely stick to moderate on that, though. And let's just see if we can see the staples here. Maybe a slight little discoloration to them. And let's see if we can open to the middle of the book here. Should be about page 11 to 14, somewhere in that range. Yeah, here we are on page probably 13 and 14 or whatever. So yeah, staples are original. They're tight to the book. See how the book lays when you open it right there? So staples are good on this book. I would just maybe call it tiny damage because of a slight discoloration. So we'll go ahead and mark that. And the cover itself. Now we have some foxing and some tanning, which can be expected on a book of this age. And maybe some more foxing here on the back. A couple little possible stains or foxing, I'm not sure which. So yeah, we're definitely in the moderate range, I would say here. For a book of this age. And actually, just looked, there's a little piece missing from this edge here that I didn't see. Just a tiny little piece missing right there. If you can see it. So I don't think it's enough to get us to extensive because all the other edges were nice. So this one and some pitting on the top, I think keeps us at moderate. We'll have to check. I have a chart that shows the maximum allowable defects for each grade. So we'll look at the end to see if that little piece missing matters. I'll just put a note here on my sheet from the edge. Piece missing. Okay, and so the cover itself I would say is moderate. Still got a lot of eye appeal. It's got some gloss. It's pretty flat. I don't actually see any creasing. This book was well cared for, I can tell. since probably the 70s and beyond, I would think. So yeah, there's nothing really going on as far as creases. So all of the defect in this book is going to be just in the tanning and the foxing. But I think that gets us to moderate, so we're going to go with moderate. And then the pages, we can just open and look at the first few here. Off-white, I would say. There's some foxing on the inside as well. Looking good to that point. Let's just make sure there's nothing crazy here, like coupons missing or anything like that. Nothing yet. Okay, I think we're good. There's no rips, tears, anything like that. Because we're off white, I'll just put us at maybe tiny on the pages. And so overall, I think this is a very nice mid-grade book. I would say this is probably, it's too nice to be a 5. Definitely not nice enough to be an 8. I could see it getting between a 6 and a 7 probably. There's not really a ton of way to improve with the press on this book. There is some creasing there, but every one of the creases has some color break. I'm going to say this is a solid 6.5 though. I'm just going to guess 6.5. And after press, man, I mean, I don't know what it could clean up here. You might reach a 7 if you press this spine out right here, but I don't think you're going to get higher than that. I could see this book maybe coming back as a 7, but I think 6 on the low end, 6.5 probably is where I would be on this book. Okay, so we'll go, actually what we'll do now is we'll go on the computer and I'll punch in these values here and we'll see what the tool that I created comes up with. Then we'll come up with our final evaluation of this book and what we could expect it to be graded at by CGC. All right, so here we go. We got our book, we got our grading sheet, and we're going to use the tool that I came up with. Once again, if you want access to this, I'll put the link in the description. I actually made a video on how to use this tool as well, and I'll put a link to that as well. So let's just look at our sheet real quick. I put a screenshot on here so you guys can follow along if you can see that for our Amazing Spider-Man 45 here. So we didn't see anything in bindery, so we're going to leave that blank up here. What we saw was moderate for corners, edges, and spine. So we put corners, edges, and spine. For the staples, we had tiny, yeah. Just maybe a little bit of discoloration there. Cover, we were also at moderate. And pages, it's off-white, so we just went ahead and went with tiny. So that puts us at 6.5. Now what did we expect just by eyeballing this book to expect us to land at? If you can see it right there, 6.5. So I'm pretty confident in that score now. Is there some room for improvement? Not much. I think we submit this, we're expecting a 6 to 7, somewhere in that range. 6.5 would be a pretty good guess. You know, I probably would press this book anyway, just because I think there's maybe 5 creases on the spine that would be corrected, just because I'd rather have the spine be corrected than not. I'm not expecting a big grade bump though, because the color break will still be there. But I would go ahead and do it anyways. I'd pay the extra money just because I want a nicer looking book, right? So yeah, I'm planning on getting this one pressed, sent into CGC, and we'll just go ahead and mark this down. We'll review all these books that we're grading right now, evaluating, and we'll go back through and we'll see how close we were using our grading tool and our eyes and understand that maybe we'll have to recalibrate our thought process here. So yeah, thanks again for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day.